Hi everyone, Professor Anderson here. I'll be your instructor for managerial accounting this summer. To give you a little bit of time to get acclimated to this course, I thought I would send this to you early. For anybody who's new to RVCC, we use Canvas as our learning management system. Other schools may use other things, but we use Canvas. So to show you how to get into it, you can get into it through Lion's Den. For sure. If you don't want to log into Lion's Den, you can actually get into it right from the main Raritan Valley webpage. So raritanvalley.edu, you can scroll all the way to the bottom and click on Canvas. You'll have to input your G number and your password to get in. And I've got a lot of stuff in here that you probably won't see. Well, probably some of these you'll get. But if you click on courses, well, actually, it's below here. I was going to say if you click on courses, you can get to dashboard, but you can get rid of these. They're kind of, take a look, read through what they say. Sometimes they say something that is important, but in this case, and if you want to look at them later, you can. But let's get focused on right now. So here we are. I haven't published the course yet. I'll be doing it shortly after this recording. But if I have sent announcements to the class, they're going to show up in here. You'll see a little indicator right here, and also I think you'll have a pop-up. Well, if you have not downloaded the Canvas app, I strongly suggest you do it. It's actually quite useful. All right, so if we were to click on Managerial Accounting, this is what you'll see. Let me put this myself in student mode here. Student view. You will see my welcome, right, where I tell you guys that this is a lot of work to do in a short amount of time, right? Typically, this is 4 hours in the classroom during the week. Now during a 14-week semester, we're bringing that down to 6, so it's quite a bit. All right, but this is what you see. As I said, you'd see announcements in here. I think I have like a welcome. There you go, welcome Managerial Accounting, and I tell you to go watch basically this video and go to the Getting Started module. So let's do that. Let's go to the Getting Started module. So this is what you're going to see. Your modules is going to be the place that you pretty much get everything that you need as far as information. You see Getting Started, we'll go there for a second. You've got Student Resources, and we've got the first couple of chapters visible right now. All right, in Getting Started, you have a bunch of information. You have the syllabus, of course. All right, so if you click on that, you'll see the grade weightings, and just look it over, see if you've got any questions in there. You have a calendar, primarily because I like to see the calendar in Excel, so I figured why not give you guys a copy as well. So this is a copy of the calendar. It shows you the beginning dates of when things are open. I realize that if you are looking only at the due dates in Canvas, all that pops up are the actual due dates. But in here you'll see, for example, that I will have chapters 13 and 14 open for this range of time, 5:17 through 5:25. You've got a test on 5:26 and 5:27, and so on, right? And the blue things here are the required discussion posts, kind of the research discussion posts. There's two different kinds of discussion posts, and I'll let you read a little bit more about that in the syllabus. Okay, but this, as I said, this shows you the range of time that assignments are open. So you might find that helpful. I like to look at it in Excel, but that's completely up to you. All right. The due dates do also populate in your calendar here, and they also populate, if you click on this syllabus here, they populate in here too. Okay, these are all your due dates for all your different assignments. Your test is on June 11th and so on. And you also have a discussion post due that same day. But like I said, it doesn't show the range, it just shows you the due date. So the fact that the test is open on June 10th and June 11th, it just isn't the way Canvas presents it. So you might find that Excel schedule a little bit more helpful to look at that way. Okay, so let's go back to modules. Oh, the other thing in there. Hang on. The other thing in syllabus is you also see how grades are weighted. And we will talk about these things, but really I want you to realize there's 3 major grading points in my managerial accounting class. Homework, which is extensive, okay, so don't take that lightly. But homework you can do over and over again until you get to 100, so I strongly encourage you to do that. Exams are worth 60% of your grade, but you know what? You have 5 of them. I know that sounds like a lot, 5, but think about it this way. It means the material, I spread out the material in the testing. I don't give you a test after like 5 chapters. The idea is you have a couple of chapters in a test, and a couple of chapters in a test, and a couple of chapters in a test. And I think that's just a lot easier to deal with than a lot of, if I were to throw several chapters at you. So don't think that 5 exams is way too much for a summer course. The idea is it's actually beneficial to you in the long run. because it chunks the chapters into more manageable pieces. The other part is discussion posts. I will get there. All right, so so I don't have any quizzes, you don't have any projects, all right, but the homework, as I said, is extensive. And realize that if exams are only worth, if you've got 5 exams and they're worth 60% of your grade, realize that your assignments, your homework, are worth far more than your exams. So it's really important to do as well as you can in that category. All right, now I'll go back to modules. Back into that Getting Started tab. So here we go. All right, syllabus, calendar, discussion forums. So you have in every chapter, I want you to be talking to each other, right? As you can do, right? Typing to each other. You'll be asking questions about the homework and about the chapter. You'll be looking for each other, asking each other for help on problems. You'll be answering each other, right? The discussion forums, I expect to be every chapter, and I expect you to be doing a lot of back and forth with your classmates. All right, that is taking the place of the classroom discussion that we can't have because we're not physically sitting in a room together. All right, so that back and forth is your classroom community, and that is where I expect you to be, like as I said, talking to each other. And you'll see I'm very clear about how I grade those. The description is in the discussion forum itself. All right, I do want you to, in those discussion forums, I do expect you to be asking each other about homework and the chapter and some sticking points, things that you're having trouble understanding, and I do expect you to be responding to each other, all right? Logistically, I couldn't possibly see everybody's question all the time, right? Like, you'll get to each other faster than I can get to you, so it's to your benefit to ask each other questions in there and then respond to one another in there. If you come to me with a question, I will say, did you ask in the forum first? I'm in the forums every day, so I don't like questions sitting for more than, say, 24 hours. I don't want anybody stuck for any significant period of time, but I do want to give you the opportunity to answer each other and earn those points. All right, there's screencasts of my lectures. I'll show you where those are. And buy the book and a student guide. Okay, so if I'm going to click on the buy the book link right here just to show you what it looks like. There's a picture that belongs in here. Okay, I'm not too sure why the picture's not showing up. Maybe because I'm not, let me see if I could add a student view what I see. My picture is still gone. Okay, well, all right, you have a couple of options. But just to get started, right from the beginning, you don't have to pay. You have free access somewhere around a week to Cengage, which is where you'll be doing your homework. That is the publisher. You'll be doing it within their site. So you've got, as I said, 3 options. You can buy it direct from the RVC bookstore, the passcode, or you can buy it through a third party, but you still need to make sure you have CNow, which is the Cengage Now access, which is the online homework. And you can buy it from the publisher directly. And that's honestly probably the easiest, most cost-effective option. But anyway, I'll show you that in a moment. You have a couple of different choices on what you purchase. I don't want you to buy more than you have to buy. You probably, if you're just a visiting student, you probably don't want to buy a 12-month access to Cengage. The idea with Cengage is the way they sell their product is they say you can have 12 months access for a price to every single product we sell. So if you've got multiple classes using Cengage, that's great, right? Because then it's the same one cost for the same book. Or 24 months, same idea. You have 24 months to access their entire suite of books. But if you don't, if you just have this class, then you want to do the most cost-effective thing for you, which is typically right here, the Cengage Now Warren Reed 14th edition. It's access to the ebook and all of the related materials. Unlimited is, again, that unlimited access to all the different books. If you have more, and I try to tell you what each one is for. I say if you have more than one class, this will give you access for 4 months. If you're taking Principles of Management, I want to say that they were using a Cengage product for a while, so that might be something to look into. Then you have access to both for one cost. Okay, this is the LL is a loose leaf. That is what people like me would get. I would need a physical copy of a textbook in front of me. I just would. I wouldn't be comfortable with an ebook, and that's fine. You can make that purchase, and you can do it through the publisher too. All right, let me go back to the getting started. Let me just make sure we're finished in there. I don't think I can do it that way. Let's see, modules. Oh, I should be back in student view, right? Okay. All right, so buy the book, student guide. Honestly, I don't know that you really even need the student guide, but I put it in there for you. Cengage gave it to me. And your introduction. The first thing I want you to do, first two things really, is post your introduction. And again, I tell you what I want that introduction to look like. How many words it needs to be, how many other students you need to reply to. I put a hyperlink in it here for you, but also you can get to it here. Okay, put it on the outside as well, just so it's easy to access. So the two things I need you to do is I need you to post your introduction, and I need you to get into Cengage. Cengage is where you're doing your online homework. Cengage is where you're taking your tests and so on. I do give you some resources in here. If you need technical support for Cengage, you can click on it here. You can also click on their dashboard, just some extra materials they have for you there. Let's look at the chapters though. The easiest way to get to Cengage is to click on just the homework. And if you click on that, a pop-up is going to come up and ask you to register and whether or not you want free access for however many days, about a week. You're going to say yes, and you'll be in. All right, so all you have to do is click on it, register, and you'll be in. So if you're going to click on your homework, this is what it's going to look like. Oh, I'm in as a student. Okay, leave student view. Let's try that again. It hasn't technically opened yet, right? Because your class hasn't started. Here you go. You can start the assignment. You can take it as many times as you want to. If you want to get to the ebook, you can see it in study tools here. If you want to see, let's see, you can click on the ebook in here. Very helpful. There's also something called adaptive study plans. They're kind of awesome. It's where you're testing your own knowledge of the chapter. So if you wanted to prep with that before a test, it's there for you. It's not a bad idea because I'm choosing questions from the same test bank that they're using in their study plans. So it's to your benefit to get comfortable with the way the questions are being asked. If you ever want to see all of the different assignments, you can just click on assignments at the top and you can see everything, all right, and all the various due dates and so on. You can't get into everything because some things don't open yet, right? This is going to open June 3rd. It's going to be, well, that's the test. June 3rd, and this will be June 9th. All right, so you can see that you can look at everything, even homework that you've already submitted. You can go back and look at it. Okay, so to come back to here, modules, I want to show you what I have for you available in the modules. All right, so I told you I wanted you to click on the discussion board. I wanted you to be talking about the chapters. So if you click here, you'll see that discussion board, and I tell you exactly how I grade them and what I'm looking for. If you have questions after you look at it, just ask me. All right, last thing. Here we go, chapter 13. Okay, so what I do is I've kind of written a little introduction for you to tell you what the chapter's about. And what I want you to do, I want you to read the introduction. I want you to review the learning objectives, right? It's just part of the standard requirements, what you're going to learn in this chapter. Read the chapter. It's a really good book. Like, it's really well written. So, you know, it's one of the reasons we've kind of stuck with this textbook, is simply because we like how user-friendly it is. So read the chapter, skim the chapter, at least get, you know, you're paying for it, get use out of it. Review all instruction materials. In this case, you've got a PowerPoint here if you wanted to use that for your notes as you go through the chapter. This is the publisher's PowerPoint here. And you do your homework, right? You do your homework and you post any questions you might have in the discussion board. Now these videos, they haven't changed. They haven't changed in a couple of years because we haven't changed a textbook in a couple of years, so they're still completely valid. All right, we are starting off with the end chapters, and I know that might sound weird, but it's because the end chapters are actually finishing up financial accounting. So if you took financial accounting at RV, you stopped, we never touched the statement of cash flows. I'm not sure, this is actually a very common break, regardless of RVCC or whatever other school you might be attending. For whatever reason, financial accounting ends at a certain point, managerial accounting picks up with the statement of cash flows and financial statement analysis. So the first two chapters are actually a little bit hairy. They're not easy chapters to start with. After we get through chapters 13 and 14, then when we get down, I know I'm not in student view anymore, so you can see more. When you get down here, you'll start getting to, okay, chapter 1, welcome to managerial accounting. So what we're really doing is we're finishing up financial in these first two chapters here. The videos are just like this one, and I think they're very helpful. If students take the time to watch them, I think that it will help you through any of the material you might be struggling with. It's a lot easier to watch my videos than it is to like try to find Google answers for things, because I probably answer them in the videos themselves. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I mean, if you're just struggling on one part of a chapter, then go to the last part of the chapter, then go to the last video and see how see if I cover the material there. Okay, but I'm here for you. You can email me anytime you want, right here in this little inbox. If I can answer you immediately, quickly, I will. If I can't answer you without being on my computer, it might take me a little bit longer. It just depends on, if I'm out and about. But if you're stuck on something like a homework problem, put it into the forum. All right. So I have these homework discussion forums in each chapter that you're required to do. And I don't have it for and like in this one, we have the introduction. That's the other required form that I have for you in this set of chapters. All right. I swear almost the last thing. The very last thing. If you click on your grades here, I don't want to click on them yet, but you'll see, actually, I can do it in student view. There's nothing in there right now, but if I click on grades here, what I can do is I can actually put in numbers here to see like kind of a what if I got 100, what if I got, an 80, what if I got, and so on. And it will calculate what your grade is way down here at the bottom. Kind of neat. All right, so a lot of times students are like, Professor Anderson, what do I need to get to whatever? And I'm like, go plug in grades in here. That's one of the neat features of Canvas. All right, so leave student view. And I feel like there's one more thing I wanted to say. I know I said I was done, but I feel like there was one more thing. Okay. Oh, I know. I do. All right. If you go into modules, again, I told you there's extra things in here. So if I were to click on the statement of cash flows again, you'll see there's a little multiple choice quiz in here, and there's a little true-false quiz. These were from the publisher probably 6-7 years ago. Not that the rules have changed or anything, just they stopped supporting it. And I thought it was neat to have these little optional self-study quizzes. I mean, you can do them in the study tools and Cengage, but just to like do a little quick version of them to test your knowledge, you can click on them right in here and take them. Doesn't count. I don't review them. But the thing is as we go along, it seems like they support them less and less and less, right? So what happens is sometimes there's errors in them, sometimes there's blanks. I wish there weren't, but there are. So if you come across one that doesn't work, is blank or whatever, just tell me and I'll fix it or delete it. I just hate that they discontinued this for students because I thought they were really helpful. So see, it gives you tells you why it's wrong or why it's right and tells you and whatnot. But they just stopped supporting this as an option. So I'm kind of, waiting until there's so many that don't work that I start deleting them all. But I did leave them in there for now, just for your own, self-testing. Like I said, the only things that I'm grading are your homework, your tests, and your discussion posts. And that's it. All right. I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.